Jr. is back, joining him Tyson Degenhart, Chibuzo Agbo, Max Rice, and Najee Smith. And we are underway here tonight at Lawlor Event Center for the Wolfpack, and their starting lineup, same five for Steve Alford, Jared Lucas, Darian Williams, Keenan Blackshear, Trey Coleman, and Will Baker. And Nevada turns it over on the first possession. Here's Rice, comes bowling in, and he's going to be whistled for an offensive foul.
Great way to make up for the turnover there by Jared Lucas. He threw one away and gets it right back with a great charge.
Exciting time of year, Keith. I mean, you make that transition from non-conference to conference play, and what a draw to get last year's champions.
Absolutely. There's no better way to test how good you are going into a season than getting the conference champs to start off. Nevada got off to a hot start as Jared Lucas gets off to a hot start with a three, but conference is really where it matters, and tonight you want to get off on the right foot and beat the former conference champs.
Lucas, the transfer from Oregon State, connects on his first three. He's been one of the top three-point shooters in the Mountain West this year. His 38th make, and right now shooting 38% from beyond the arc. Here's Smith on the inside, goes around Will Baker, and Boise State gets on the scoreboard.
Don't be surprised if Boise State tries to attack Baker early and try to get him in foul trouble.
Penetration from Blackshear, the three on the way from Baker, and he's off the mark. Will Baker, a big guy that can step out and shoot it. He's coming off of his best performance of the season, Keith. He had 23 in Nevada's win over Norfolk State. He was a perfect 9 of 9 from the field in that game.
And what he did best in that game was inside. He just finished around the rim with simple moves. Got things, went up against smaller defenders, and Boise doesn't have a lot of big guys to guard him tonight. So that's going to be the key to his success, his quick moves inside over smaller defenders.
Agbo trying to go over Blackshear. Offensive rebound for the Broncos. They'll kick it out. Rice finds the open man, is Shaver. Back to Max Rice. Gets around Lucas, and the floater comes up short, rebounded by Trey Coleman. The top two defenses statistically for the Mountain West Conference in their non-conference play. Boise State allowing only 37% from the field. Nevada right off there at 38. So we should see a game that is going to be tightly defended by both sides.
Definitely. Both teams are very solid defensively. They're not going to do anything special with presses or anything like that, but they stay in front of their men, just like Trey Coleman right there. And they defend as a team well, and it's going to be tough to score for both teams.
In transition, Coleman for three.
That's where Nevada needs to get their baskets, is in transition. When Boise plays in the half court on defense, they can stop anybody, but if you get out in transition, get open looks, they can put up points against it.
Talking to Trey Coleman before the game yesterday, this is a game that really has been circled for him for a very long time. It does not sit well with him that they lost all three of their matchups against the Broncos last season, as we see Tyson Degenhart get the bucket underneath, and he has been just a star for the Broncos now in his sophomore season.
He has. Degenhart's a big 6'7" forward, and he's really good at finishing inside. He's struggled from three this year, but he was a 40% three-point shooter last season, so if he finds his rhythm beyond the arc, he's going to be really tough to stop.
Nevada very aggressive in their three-point shooting here early. They've connected on 2 of 4. Baker out guarding Degenhart, and Degenhart hits the triple.
And right on cue. You don't want to let him get his rhythm behind the arc because he can shoot it.
He's a guy that was tremendous from distance last season as a freshman, where he was named the Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Year. Hit over 40% of his three-point shots. Has not had that kind of success this year, but certainly the Broncos have to be excited about the way he has been playing in the first 3.5 minutes of this game.
They want to get him going early, and he's going to have to take the load off of Shaver, who's coming off that injury. It's going to take him some time to get his wind back. So if Degenhart gets off to a hot start, that's going to help Shaver kind of preserve his legs and help close this out later.
Wolfpack and the Broncos here on a Wednesday night in Reno. Nick Davidson into the game, the freshman for the Wolfpack. Has the deflection. Broncos get it back. Shaver with 9 seconds to shoot. 5 seconds for the Broncos. Long three. That one comes up short, and it's Lucas who flies in for the board. Davidson wants to take a three, and Nick Davidson hits the triple.
Nick Davidson has been huge coming in as a freshman this year for Nevada. He's great at knocking down those shots and provides a lot of energy on defense for the Wolfpack.
Redshirt freshman from Mater Dei High School in Southern California. Davidson hitting over 40% of his three-point shots. And how about the answer for the Broncos? Agbo for three and the foul, and that will take us to the first media timeout. It's the Broncos, a 1-point advantage, and an exciting start here tonight in downtown Reno. Back with more right after this. Wolfpack basketball on Nevada Sportsnet is brought to you by Champion Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy dealer in Northern Nevada for 33 years, and by Bradley Drendel and Janae. Happy holidays from inside Lawlor Event Center with Keith Fuchs. I'm Alex Margulies. Hope you've all had a great finish to the year, and what a great start to the conference season as two longtime rivals, the Nevada Wolfpack and the Boise State Broncos, going toe-to-toe here tonight. Also want to welcome in our viewers from Boise, Idaho on our station out there, the CW, as well as our audience in Southern California on Valley Sports West. Chibuzo Agbo, a chance for the 4-point play, and he will get it done. So a huge swing there for the Broncos as they have come out hot. Agbo and Degenhardt carrying the load early for the Broncos. Broncos got off to a real slow start this season, but they have come on very strong here in the last month, winning 9 of their last 10 games. And a good defensive stop there as Lucas will turn it over. Among the wins for the Broncos, Keith, you're talking about getting victories over Texas A&M, got one over Colorado, also beat St. Louis, which is also a good mid-major that's regularly in the NCAA tournament. Actually had a 9-game winning streak until they came up short last week against Santa Clara, who appears to be one of the stronger teams this year out of the West Coast Conference.
Yeah, Boise beat a bunch of good teams. Colorado and Texas A&M stand out as Power 5 squads, but St. Louis is nothing to frown at either. That's a really good mid-major team. They've been to a lot of NCAA tournaments, and Boise knows what it takes to get to the NCAA tournament, and winning those games early will get you there regardless of whether you win your conference.
Lucas trying to draw some contact there, comes up short on the shot. It's Shaver who gets the rebound. Nevada's been the #1 team in the nation at getting to the foul line this year, and you could tell that it was Lucas trying to get that foul from Shaver, and the veteran was not going to bite.
Yeah, Lucas likes to do that. He gets in the lane, pump fakes, and tries to draw a foul, but Boise State's a well-coached team and play good defense. That was one of Coach Rice's keys to the game, was not sending them to the foul line, so I'm sure that was the scouting report on Lucas, is he's going to get you in, try to pump fake you, get you to foul him, and that was a good job following the scouting report right there.
So Shaver does well on the defensive end, then takes it down and gets to the foul line himself. And Marcus Shaver Jr. giving the Broncos a 5-point advantage.
Wolfpack don't want to send Shaver to the line early, but someone who's missed a few games, getting him to the free throw line is a way that he can find his rhythm and get his legs back, get a feel for the game again. So the more they foul him, the more that he's going to find a rhythm, and that can hurt the Wolfpack.
Shaver heads off as Max Rice checks in for the Broncos. So a 6-point lead here for Boise State on the road. And for Nevada, they'll see Daniel Foster check in, and the Aussie, native of Melbourne, Australia, playing for the first time since December 3rd against Loyola Marymount. Foster been dealing with an ankle injury since before Nevada went and played at the Cayman Island Classic just around Thanksgiving. So a nice bolster to get some more depth for Nevada as Blackshear on the drive gets the finish.
That's where Keenan Blackshear is really good. He waited for everyone to clear out of the lane and then attacked, and he's great at finishing around the rim at 6'6".
He's a unique looking point guard, isn't he?
He is. You don't see many 6'6" point guards in college basketball, but he uses that height to his advantage against smaller defenders.
Blackshear whistled for the reach-in, trying to go for the steal. And that's a problem for Blackshear in Nevada. That's his second foul, so he's going to have to sit on the bench and will likely be there for the majority of this first half. In his place, the freshman Darian Williams checks in.
That's a big foul on Blackshear there. Now Nevada has to rely on someone else to bring the ball up, and looks like Boise's going to press him.
Fight for the rebound, and Foster able to get on top of it. A whistle against the Broncos first. And just like that, Shaver back into the game for Boise State. Shaver, the native of Phoenix, Arizona, last year a second-team Mountain West selection. A guy that can really light it up. He has scored as many as 30 points in his career. He's got 4 early, and the Broncos have a 4-point lead here in Reno. Foster on the drive, gets it inside. Baker has it stripped away. And they'll say it was knocked out by Boise State. That'll stop the shot clock at 8 seconds. Darian Williams, a freshman from Sacramento. By way of Bishop Gorman High School in Vegas, played his senior season there. Defended well again by Boise State. It's knocked out, but only 1 second left for the Wolfpack, and not much they can do with that. So far, the Broncos as good as advertised defensively. Again, they're the top defensive team in the Mountain West this year, and that was their calling card en route to their championship season last year. It will indeed be a shot clock violation for the Wolfpack as Lucas almost got it there.
Almost got it, but Boise State is right up in Jared Lucas's shorts. They do not want to let him open from 3. He's a great three-point shooter, and he likes to move around a lot, but they have stuck with him early so far.
Rice on the drive. It was poked down by Lucas, and they'll say it was last touched by the Broncos. Good defensive effort there from Jared Lucas. And I think when it comes to Nevada, they knew they were going to get really good shooting from Lucas. He was the best, one of the best three-point shooters in the Pac-12 at Oregon State. But I think his defense has been better than advertised.
It has. It's been really good. Much better than advertised. You think of a guy who's a shooter and a scorer, not usually known as a defender, but he puts his full effort in on the defense. It's been a big part of why Nevada's defense has been so good to start the season.
Wolfpack with 6 to shoot. Here's Davidson, and he's whistled for a travel.
Interesting, Nevada going with Davidson and Baker in the game at once. They don't usually play the two bigs together like this. See if they're going to try and take advantage of some of the lack of height on Boise State.
Get it inside for Kobe Young. He'll kick it out. Degenhardt. 12 to shoot for the Broncos. It's Shaver. Shaver on the drive, and a good job there by Davidson getting in his way. Here's Foster, and Foster with the travel, and that will take us to the second media timeout here in the first half. 11:33 to go here inside Lawlor Event Center. It's the Broncos 15 and the Wolfpack 11. On. No markups over MSR. Back here inside Lawlor Event Center, 11:33 to go here in the first half. And it's the Broncos a 4-point edge as they have been able to connect on 5 of their 12 shots. Tyson Degenhart leads the way with 5 points, and then 4 apiece from Shaver Jr. and Agbo. And for the Wolfpack, all of their points just about have come from beyond the arc. 3 triples, 1 each by Coleman, Lucas, and Davidson, and Blackshear chipping in as well. So both teams shooting at a high percentage, over 40%. And the Broncos basketball here with a 4-point edge. Max Rice now into his senior season. Went to high school in Boise. He's, of course, the son of head coach Leon Rice. Has really had a fantastic senior season, has Rice. His highest scoring total, over 10 points a game. Nevada able to defend it, and a good turnover force by the Wolfpack defense.
Excellent defense right there by Nevada. Forcing the turnover, stuck with their guys, didn't let Boise run anything coming out of the timeout.
And it looks like they're going to go talk to Leon Rice. Longtime head coach at Boise State. He's been here since 2010 and celebrated not only that regular season title, but a conference championship last year. Only the 5th team in Mountain West history to sweep the championships, and you know just how tough that is, Keith. I mean, going out there, not only winning the regular season, but going to Vegas and winning that as well. With how many good teams there are in the Mountain West, especially last year, I mean, that was an impressive feat for Boise State.
Well, last year, especially, as you mentioned, like that 5 teams that went to the NCAA tournament. So for Boise to go through that tournament, any tournament is tough, especially in college basketball, but go through the Mountain West with all those great teams and come out tournament champions when everyone's gunning for you as the regular season champion, that shows how tough of a team they were.
Wolfpack trying to bounce back after a rough season last year. Their worst under now 4th-year head coach Steve Alford, but they have had a rejuvenated bunch this year after a 10-3 non-conference. Here's Tyler Powell, and the Los Angeles native with a nice drive right down the paint.
Tyler Powell has been great off the bench for Nevada this season. Provides a lot of energy on defense, and he can score the basketball like he did just right there.
Powell, a transfer from Seton Hall, where he got some minutes last year in the NCAA tournament. Coach kind of looks at him as being another one of his freshmen. He's listed as a sophomore, but based on just his inexperience, kind of lumps him in with the group of the Nevada players, Nick Davidson, Trey Pettigrew, and Darian Williams. Nevada really feels like they've got like this core of 4 freshmen to work around, and boy, they have been just sensational this year, and a huge reason why Nevada has gotten off to such a good start.
They have. Coach Alford and his staff did a great job recruiting this offseason. This freshman class has played incredible to start the season. They don't look like freshmen. I think that's the thing that surprised me the most. Darian Williams and Nick Davidson especially, but also Trey Pettigrew. And you talk about Tyler Powell not having necessarily experience, but when you play in the Big East, that's experience enough. That's the toughest basketball conference in the country. So just 1 year at Seton Hall is vital for him, and he's going to hopefully bring that toughness to Nevada.
It's just physical basketball out there, isn't it?
Physical basketball, tough basketball. Not what it was back in the 80s and 90s, but the Big East still thrives, and it's still one of the toughest leagues to play in.
One of the big concerns coming into this game for head coach Steve Alford was on the backboard, and Boise State has had the advantage there. They've now out-rebounded Nevada 9-5. The offensive board and then the foul for Najee Smith. And he will connect from the line to give the Broncos back a 3-point lead.
Boise State doesn't have a lot of size. They only play a couple guys who are over 6'7", but Smith and Ogbo attack the glass and every single time, and that's where Will Baker and Nick Davidson have to be physical, have to box those guys out and crash the boards for Nevada.
Daniel Foster runs the point for the Wolfpack. Again, coming off of that ankle injury, looks to be moving well. Powell wants to take the 3 down. How about Tyler Powell with a couple of buckets here in this first half?
Bring in that Big East electricity off the bench for the Wolfpack.
He's hit only 6 of 18 from the outside this year, but he's feeling it. 5 points for Powell, and it's a 1-point game.
Well, the last few games, he's found his confidence more on offense. He was more of just a defensive stopper to start the season, but he's, as you can see tonight, he's gotten a lot more confident as now he fouls on a three-pointer.
Powell beside himself there as he's whistled for the foul, and it's another three-point offense for the Wolfpack.
I never like when the refs blow a whistle just because a guy hit the ground, but it did look like Powell got in the landing area, which now is a foul.
And now it's a technical.
Come on! Come on! What are you doing?
So a huge swing here for the Broncos in this first half, as that's going to send Chibuzo Agbo. Again, he was shooting three initially and then a technical foul on top of that. So first one here is going to be the technical shot for Agbo, who's hitting 80% of his free throws this year. And the crowd here, Lawler's not going to make it easy for him.
If there's one positive to getting a technical called on you, you get the crowd into the game. There's nothing they like to do more than boo the refs and get on them. So this will get the crowd a little more energized.
So he makes one of two, and now Agbo will get his original three from the foul against Tyler Powell. Chibuzo Agbo from San Diego started his college career at Texas Tech, where he played in 55 games for the Red Raiders, including their run in the tournament last year. He was a four-star recruit coming out of high school, and he was actually very close to coming to Nevada. The Wolfpack was in on Agbo, and it was kind of down to Nevada, Boise State, and one other, and Agbo decided to go play for the Broncos. So the Wolfpack very familiar with his game.
Well, he brings a lot of athleticism, and coming from the Big 12, and Texas Tech is a great program that played in the national championship a few years ago, so that's a huge pickup for Boise State, and Nevada wishes that they didn't miss out on Agbo.
So a big swing there for Agbo and the Broncos. Back to a 4-point lead for Boise State. Final 9 minutes to go here in the first half. Powell aggressive again, this time draws the foul, and you can tell he is playing with a ton of confidence right now.
A lot more confidence, and that's especially huge right now for Nevada with Keenan Blackshear in foul trouble. They need somebody that's going to attack the rim and provide some offense.
And some really good minutes from Powell, especially with Keenan Blackshear sitting with 2 fouls. But now Powell will sit down and Blackshear will come back in. And so Nevada has to roll the dice a little bit with Blackshear and hope that he does not get in further trouble.
They're kind of forced to at this point. You can't go another 9 minutes without your point guard and one of your best players sitting on the bench. So Blackshear just has to be smart and not make any dumb fouls and get himself into more trouble here.
Lucas knocked over. Williams trying to sneak in there. Broncos hang on to it. Here's Whiting. He's a freshman. Over to Shaver in the corner. 8 to shoot for Boise State. Shaver against Lucas, and Shaver, what an impressive move that was.
Oh, that was a nice move. Shook Lucas out of his shoes there with a little shimmy shake. Don't see a 6'2" guard posting guys up much, but that was a nice little turnaround by Shaver.
6 points for Marcus Shaver Jr., who has not played since December the 10th. And the Broncos very excited to get him back. It has been kind of an injury-riddled start to the season for Boise State. They weren't sure if they were going to get Shaver. They were saying he was a game-time decision. And how about Agbo continuing his impressive performance here in this first half? A 7-point lead for Boise State. Largest lead of the night as Blackshear tries to cut it back. Instead, the rebound inside by Agbo.
Those are the type of possessions that are going to hurt Nevada. They need to get the ball moving from side to side. I know Blackshear can make that shot, but they can get a lot better shot by moving the ball side to side.
Wolfpack moving out for Coleman, fight for the rebound, and it'll be a jump ball as Davidson wrestling there with Degenhart. Timeout on the floor here at 7:19. The Broncos in front of the Wolfpack, 25-18. We'll step aside here on Nevada Sportsnet. From inside Lawlor Event Center, it's the Wolfpack and the Broncos tonight on Nevada Sportsnet. Also, hello to our viewers in Boise on the CW, as well as our audience in Southern California on Valley Sports West, or wherever you're tuning in tonight. Maybe it's on NevadaSportsNet.com. We're certainly glad you could join us here this evening. Broncos looking well-oiled here in this first half, Keith. They've got 25 points, shooting 41% from the field, and really the big difference, because Nevada actually is shooting at a higher clip than Boise State. It's the way that they've been able to take care of the glass. I mean, they are +6 right now in rebounding, and that is something that Nevada was very concerned about coming in.
They're attacking the offensive glass, and they're cleaning up the defensive glass. The intensity that Boise brings on defense has flustered Nevada a little bit. They look like the team that's defending conference champs, and like you said, they look like a well-oiled machine so far.
4 offensive rebounds for Boise State, none for the Wolfpack so far. Broncos ball leading by 7. Abo has been the key cog. He's got 10 points here in this first half. Over to Smith, back to the basket against Blackshear, and he's whistled for a travel.
Those 4 offensive rebounds for Boise, that's a challenge to Nevada's big men. We talked a little bit about it earlier, but Will Baker and Nick Davidson they're bigger than Boise's players. They have to clean up the glass. They have to be more physical than they're used to being and box out and keep Boise State's aggressive players off the glass.
Looks like a little bit of a zone here from Boise State.
I think it just looks like that because Nevada's not moving the ball too well, but there's a good 3 by Darian Williams.
True freshman, Bishop Gorman High School, native of Sacramento. He has been a star as a freshman. Coach Alford, talking to him yesterday, feels like he has a chance to be one of the best to ever play at Nevada. That was the kind of comments he was making about Darian Williams, who has been the freshman leader in the league when it comes to rebounds, steals, as well as assist to turnover.
He's made a huge impact as a freshman and played big minutes. He's starting now. He's able to knock down open threes like that, but he's one who also has to attack the glass and help the big men keep Boise from getting offensive rebounds, and that's where he really contributes a lot so far.
Lucas Milner, he's a 5th-year senior from Kansas. And they'll whistle Abo on the ensuing rebound. And that'll be Wolfpack basketball down by 4.
And that foul is because Darian Williams had a great box out on the free throw, just like we talked about.
Jared Lucas on the drive. Can't get the whistle. Nevada still can't get to the free throw line. They have not had a single attempt, and that is not their recipe for success. Said earlier, Nevada, the #1 team in the nation when it comes to both attempts and makes at the free throw line. They've had none, while Boise State has shot 11 from the stripe here early. They've made 8.
Boise State's been the more aggressive team so far in this game on defense, offense, and on the glass. And the free throw line tells that story.
Williams trying to go from the outside again. Came up short, but another foul on the rebound by Boise State. And they'll call Milner shoving Baker in the back. .15 seconds to shoot for Nevada. They'll get it into Baker. Working against Degenhart. Here come the Broncos in transition. That one's swatted away by Williams, defending the alley-oop. Good recognition there by the freshman. And the Broncos starting to rack up the fouls as Nevada getting closer to the bonus. And that would be an area Nevada would really like to get to.
They need to get get some offense going. Boise's done a great job of throwing Nevada's offense off of rhythm. They're playing really physical, getting them off their spots, and Nevada's settling for bad shots.
And there's another foul. Again, it's Degenhardt, and not a guy that Boise State wants to see get his second, and that will send the Wolfpack into the bonus. You have to like Nevada trying to work it inside to Will Baker. I know that was a key for you before tip-off, especially after what we saw from Baker last week against Norfolk State when he was 9 for 9, and they were just feeding him left and right down inside the paint.
Exactly. Like I said earlier, Boise doesn't play a lot of guys who are taller than 6'7", so then Baker needs to take advantage of his size advantage and get those inside looks, and so far he hasn't gotten many.
A rare miss for Baker as he can't connect on the front half of the 1-and-1. He was an 88% shooter from the free throw line this year. So Nevada can't take advantage. Boise State basketball. 10 seconds to shoot. Agbo short on the jumper. 10-7 for Chibuzo Agbo here in this first half. Here's Lucas, catch and shoot three. Williams jumping in there, and what an offensive board there for Darian Williams. Now he's going after the senior Smith, and Smith is going to steal it from him. Smith the other way will get it to roll, and it won't go down. Lucas wants some help. The feed. And a foul before Baker got the second attempt off.
Well, we talked about Will Baker, and we'll talk more after the break. He needs to be a little bit more aggressive on finishing that.
4 minutes to go here in the first half. It's 27-21 Broncos in front of the Wolfpack. Wolfpack basketball on Nevada Sports 10 is brought to you by your Northern Nevada Toyota dealers. With Tacoma, no trail is left unchallenged. Visit your Northern Nevada Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. How about those scenes, Keith, from around the region? A beautiful week of skiing here in Northern Nevada, Northern California. Those were shots of Mount Rose, which is only about a 30-minute drive from here on the University of Nevada campus, as well as Heavenly, maybe about an hour, maybe a little bit less, in South Lake Tahoe. And, man, there were some stunning ski days here this past week.
Some beautiful ski days, and there's looks like going to be more coming up with some snow coming into the area this week.
Yeah, pretty warm storm coming in, but we're talking about the potential of like 7 or 8 feet of snow over a 2 or 3 day period this weekend. So if you like crazy weather, buckle your seatbelts. It won't be quite as dramatic here in Reno. It might not even snow at all, which is interesting here in the Truckee Meadows, while there could be, again, 7 feet of snow in the mountains. And always kind of a crazy time of year when it comes to that. As we welcome you back in here, 4 minutes to go in the first half, and it's Will Baker. And this time he'll connect on both of his free throws. Wolfpack trailed by as many as 7, back to a 4-point game as Marcus Shaver and the Broncos will take it down the floor. Wolfpack trying to trap now on Shaver. Trying to get some space away from Coleman. Forces a bad shot. Fight for the rebounds, and they'll say it was last touched by the Broncos.
Another good effort by Darian Williams, keeping Smith off the offensive glass there and getting Nevada the ball back.
Williams has been the 4th best rebounder in the Mountain West, and that's for all players, and he's doing that as a freshman. He's got 3 here early. Coleman taking the 3. And just off back iron for Trey Coleman, who has been a much improved three-point shooter here in his junior season. That was after shooting only 26% last year. He's over 40 this year, including 1 of 2 in this game tonight. Another one of the Wolfpack freshmen, it's Trey Pettigrew, and he's able to draw the foul against Marcus Shaver.
Well, speaking of Trey Coleman, he's made a big jump in all facets, not just from the three-point line from his sophomore year, and has been a big contributor for Nevada. That's been a pleasant surprise for them because they needed someone else to step up along with these new guys if they wanted to be an improved team.
Trey Pettigrew, another true freshman. He's from Chicago. He's finished out his high school career there, where he was one of the top 5 players in the state of Illinois. Left it short, but gets the roll as Pettigrew gets Nevada back within 3. He was a top 150 recruit in the country out of Kenwood Academy in Chicago, where he averaged almost 21 points a game. And this time the foul goes against the Wolfpack on the ensuing rebound as Pettigrew makes 1 of 2. So with the Broncos in the bonus, that will send them right back to the free throw line, and it's Lucas Milner, who statistically is the guy that you want shooting free throws if you're Nevada, as he's made only 56% of his attempts this year. 3rd season with the Broncos after transferring from Johnson Community College, and he cannot take advantage. So both teams have missed the front half of their 1-and-1s. Daniel Foster back into the game for the Wolfpack. Only 8 to shoot for the Wolfpack. Down to 5 as Coleman drives in. Coleman drew the foul before he got the shot off.
Max Rice is playing excellent defense on Jared Lucas. We talked about the coach's kid earlier. That's a coach's kid right there, just locking in on his assignment, and he has not let Lucas get any good looks off tonight.
Like butter for Trey Coleman. The first is good. Wolfpack back within 2. Wolfpack now 4 of 6 at the free throw line. 2-point game. The freshman Jace Whiting running the floor for the Broncos. He's an Idaho kid. Getting some valuable minutes here in his true freshman season. Degenhart trying to get around Foster. Tight defense. 3 seconds to shoot for the Broncos. Rice for 3. Off iron. Pettigrew's there for the rebound. Coleman. Yes! Nevada back in front as Trey Coleman from downtown. Whiting trying to answer, and the freshman comes up short. And a whistle coming there as Kobe Young came flying in to try and get a rebound from Jared Lucas, and they're all tied up right now underneath the hoop.
Well, Nevada's been a resilient team all season. There's been multiple games where they've gotten down and made comebacks, Kansas State game specifically. They could have let things get a little out of hand here in the first half after the technical foul on Steve Alford. When they got down 8, Boise State had some momentum, and Nevada's just chipped away, kept with it. Now they're looking at taking possibly a 3-point lead here with a minute left in the half.
So the foul on Young is his second. That will send Lucas to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. And he hits. Lucas, like Baker, one of the best in the Mountain West in free throws. Looking at his percentage there. He has hit 57 from the line this year. It took Nevada until about 12 minutes into this game to even get their first free throw attempts. Now they've been able to get there 8 times and a 3-point lead for the Wolfpack. And the Lawlor Event Center crowd is getting into it. A wide open look for Smith. And the Broncos have gone cold as the Wolfpack are on a 9-0 run and a timeout by Steve Alford. He comes out, claps his hands. He'll bring his entire team together, and the fans here at Lawlor Event Center are coming up to their feet. Broncos are now only shooting 32% from the floor, Keith, as Nevada has really clamped down on defense, and that has transitioned onto the other side of the floor where the Wolfpack are starting to get some buckets themselves.
And I talked about earlier how Boise was being aggressive on defense and taking Nevada off their spots, forcing them to take tough shots, and now Nevada has finally taken that stance on defense. They're forcing Boise into late possessions, tough shots, and most importantly, they've kept them off the glass for these last few minutes, which has helped lead to this little run Nevada's had.
Steve Alford, his 32nd season as a head coach. He's got 653 wins, including 55 here with the Wolfpack. And talking to Coach Alford, he really has been rejuvenated by this group. Just the work ethic, the way they show up, the way they prepare, the way they listen. He said it's been so much fun to coach this group of guys.
Well, it's been a fun season, especially after last year. They had such high expectations and had a big disappointment, and you could see that Alford was disappointed in the squad. So to have a new team, some fresh faces, and new energy has really been great for everybody on this Nevada squad.
Oh, what a performance right now by this Wolfpack defense as they have held the Broncos scoreless the last 5 minutes. And a chance to extend their already 9-0 run here to end the first half. Did not look good there for Foster. I can see him grimace. He's got that banged up ankle.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like that is perfectly healed for him. Luke is forcing a shot there on the baseline. And the Broncos will have an opportunity here with 23 seconds, and Leon Rice will call timeout.
And that was another example. Max Rice is just forcing Jared Lucas to work super, super hard to get his shots off. And when you see Lucas coming up short on shots like that, that's because Rice has been in him all day, making him tired, wearing him out. In the second half, Nevada might try to find a way to set some more screens and get Lucas some more open looks, kind of be physical with Max Rice on the defensive end.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mic check.
So the Wolfpack will try and defend here in the final 22 seconds. If you're the Broncos, where are you going with the basketball?
Well, it starts with Marcus Shaver. He's your best player. You're probably going to run some kind of pick and roll with him, and then look for Degenhart either cutting to the basket or popping out for a 3 off that pick and roll.
So Marcus Shaver will take it across the floor. Final 19 ticks. Broncos just one of their last 9 from the field. Max Rice, nowhere to go, spins around. Rice can't get it, fight for the rebound, and a whistle blows at 1.9. And the offensive rebounding continues to be a huge plus for the Broncos here in this first half.
Well, another great job by Smith being aggressive on the offensive glass. A little tough to blow the whistle there with 1 second left when 4 different guys are jumping for the ball.
And Smith cannot capitalize.
Ball don't lie.
That is how the first half comes to a close. The Wolfpack with a tremendous 9-0 run, and they've got a 30-27 lead here at halftime. Keith, what stands out to you right now about Nevada?
Just the way they finished that half aggressively. Defense stepped up huge. They kept Boise off the offensive glass, and then that got some rhythm going. Getting to the free throw line finally got some rhythm going on offense, and they found their momentum going into the half here.
All right, so we'll be right back with more here inside Lawlor Event Center. On the other side of the break, our interview with Trey Coleman had a chance to sit down with the junior yesterday. We will get him on the other side. The Wolfpack on top of the Broncos here inside Lawlor Event Center. Tonight's game on Nevada Sportsnet is presented by Bradley Drendel and Janae, and by Champion Chevrolet, trucks as tough as the pack. Let's go inside the numbers now of the first half. That's presented by Huntley Motor World, a trailer for every need. You can see the Broncos only shooting 31% in this one, also struggling from beyond the arc, and the area where they've really done well. Free throws, they've out free throwed Nevada by 3, and they are +3 on the glass.
And that's been the difference, is they've been attacking the offensive glass and got to the free throw line early. And the second half of that first half, Nevada attacked the offensive glass a little bit more, but mainly kept Boise off the offensive glass. And they finally got to the free throw line and started finding their rhythm offensively. The number I like to look at for Nevada is the assists. They have 6 assists on 9 made baskets. When Nevada's at their best, they're moving the ball, everyone's touching it, and they're getting a lot of assists. So if they're going to do that in the second half, they're going to be successful.
All right, we'll have second half action coming up next here from Lawlor Event Center, the Wolfpack and the Broncos here on Nevada Sportsnet. Wolfpack basketball on Nevada Sportsnet is brought to you by ITS Logistics, one of the fastest growing logistics companies in North America. ITS Logistics backs the pack. And by United Nissan. No markups over MSRP at UnitedNissan.com. Just about to start the second half here inside Lawlor Event Center with Keith Fuchs. I'm Alex Margulies, and we'll send it down to the third member of our broadcast team, Shannon Kelly, who has an update.
Yeah, guys, I spoke with head coach Leon Rice coming out of the locker room, and I asked him what he told his team at half. He said, we have to be tougher. We were in good strides there, just kind of lost things towards the end of the first half. I asked him then, how do you need to keep pounding the glass? And he said, we have to do just that because they were doing such a good job there early in the first, but they have to be better on the offensive side of that.
All right, Trey Coleman will inbound for the Wolfpack, and we are underway here in the second half. Nevada, again, finishing that first half on a 9-0 run. We'll see if they can continue that. Keenan Blackshear looking to try to line up with Baker instead. Will just take the jump shot himself, and he is a guy that can score in so many different ways, Keith.
He's really good at scoring off the pick and roll like that because he's so patient. He waited, he got Shaver on his hip, waited for the second defender to fall back, and then took the open jumper.
So Nevada's run goes to 11-0 until Shaver is able to drive there, make it a 3-point game again. Miscommunication for the Wolfpack defensively. Twelve seconds to shoot for Nevada. Here's Coleman, and Coleman has that one stolen away. Najee Smith going the other side, and Coleman the rejection.
Did he call that a goaltend?
Let's take another look here. What'd you see there, Keith?
I saw a beautiful block. Didn't look like it touched the backboard before he got it, so it should have been clean.
Back to a 1-point game, 32-31. Here's Lucas from the corner, and Jared Lucas, the Los Angeles native, hits his second triple. He's got 8, and the Wolfpack have a lead of 4.
And Nevada did a great job of running Lucas off a couple different screens there to get Max Rice off of him and get him open for the open three.
Eric Lucas whistled for a foul there. Stops the clock at 18:24. Nevada shooting over 40% from beyond the arc in this one. That has been huge for them. Nevada has been kind of a tough team to predict when it comes to their outside shooting. They've had some amazing performances and some stretches where they just can't hit anything. So that has certainly been a big factor in this one for them tonight. 10 to shoot. Shaver from the outside and couldn't get it to go. Lucas wants to take it all the way to the goal. Finds a look for Williams, the freshman, for three. Offensive rebound for the Wolfpack. It was Lucas. And that's just hustle right there from Nevada. And a foul against Keenan Blackshear before he tripped and fell to the floor.
Nevada giving Boise a piece of their own medicine there, attacking the offensive glass, and I think that's going to be the key. We talked about it a lot in the first half, but whoever wins the backboard in the second half and gets a lot of offensive rebounds is going to be able to win this game.
And this time it's going to be an offensive foul against the Wolfpack. For Nevada playing here at home tonight, they'll hit the road this weekend to Colorado Springs to take on Air Force. And what has been kind of a travel headache for both of these teams and just about everybody, especially due to these Southwest outages. Boise State actually had to charter a plane to get down here as Smith sends it home with a two-handed jam. They had a charter here, private. That's a pretty penny. You're talking 60, 70 grand for an athletic department that wasn't planning on that. Nevada's going to have to do the same to get to Air Force after they were planning on flying Southwest, but as many of you know, you can't really go anywhere right now in Southwest. And Nevada's going to turn it over again. So the Broncos starting to get some momentum again, back to a two-point game and a couple of defensive stops in a row.
And Boise again there, physical with Jared Lucas coming off the screen and force him into the travel.
Lucas with 8, Coleman with 7 for the Wolfpack. Smith and Abo both with 10, and Smith now with a dozen. And we are tied at 35 as Najee Smith goes off the glass. He's got 12 and 5. Baker sets the screen for Williams. Baker some space. Spins around in a one-handed jam for Will Baker. Oh, baby.
Will Baker got a little caught on the top of the key there, but made a nice move. Aggressive turn to the basket and finishing strong. That's how he needs to finish a lot more around the hoop.
I mean, that was about as good a footwork we've seen from Baker this season. Maybe in his career.
Maybe in his career. He's not one to go to the hoop from the outside a lot, but
now a 2-on-1 fast break, and it's an offensive foul as Williams knocks over Abo.
And that's one of those rare kind of freshman mistakes by Darian Williams there. He had Blackshear open, could have had a nice 2-on-1, and drove right into the defender, Agbo, who was sitting there waiting for him.
So good defensive play by Abo. That'll take us to the first media timeout here in the second half. Nevada holding a 2-point lead against the Broncos. Wolfpack basketball on Nevada Sportsnet is brought to you by ITS Logistics, one of the fastest growing logistics companies in North America. ITS Logistics backs the pack. And by United Nissan. No markups over MSRP at UnitedNissan.com. Back here to snowy Reno, Nevada, Lawlor Event Center. Mountain West Conference opener between the Wolfpack and the Broncos, two longtime rivals. Glad to have you aboard, whether you're watching us online tonight, NevadaSportsNet.com. Also our viewers in Boise on the CW and in Southern California on Valley Sports West. And of course, here on Nevada Sportsnet. With Keith Fuchs, I'm Alex Margulies. Shannon Kelly is our sideline reporter tonight. We've got a good one. Wolfpack a 2-point edge on the reigning Mountain West Conference champions. Both of these teams came in after a 10-3 non-conference resume. Broncos had won 9 in a row until falling to Santa Clara last week, so they're winners of 9 of their last 10. Inside to Smith, and he has been the go-to guy for the Broncos. Najee Smith has 14, and that's 3 off of his career high.
And that's a great job by Degenhart there, backing down the smaller defender and being patient. The double came, and he just found the open guy and made the great pass for an open layup.
Double team on Keenan Blackshear. They'll kick it out to Davidson, and Nick Davidson hits his second triple. Tell you, this three-point shooting has been really good for Nevada, and as I talked about earlier, that has kept them in this game.
It has, and it's because of good ball movement right there. They went across court pass to Davidson, who's wide open. They do their best when they're moving the ball and finding open shots that way, and they've been doing that well tonight.
Wolfpack 8 of 18 from beyond the arc. Here's Smith again against Davidson, tries to go around him, and Nevada does not have an answer for Najee Smith. 16-5 for the senior out of Spokane, Washington. Third season with the Broncos for Smith. Lucas coming down the lane, and he is fouled hard. And Nevada maybe wants a flagrant foul here.
I think they're trying to say Smith went through the hoop, looking for a goaltend.
Here Lucas makes the first of 2. He has hit all 3 of his free throws tonight. 9 and 4 tonight for the senior from Los Angeles. Talked about it during our games down in Southern California. He's the all-time leading scorer in CIF Southern Section history, which is an incredible feat. Almost 4,000 points during his high school career, and he has had a tremendous college career, both at Oregon State, where he led the Beavers to the Elite 8 a couple seasons ago, and now in his first season with the Wolfpack, where he has been one of the top scorers in the Mountain West. And speaking of scorers, Degenhart hits the triple. We're tied up at 42. A hot night for the sophomore. The reigning Mountain West Freshman of the Year. Blackshear the basket, can't get around Abo. Here come the Broncos in transition, quickly out to Smith. Now Abo coming down the lane, and he will finish, and the Broncos are back in front. $12 and 8 for Shibuzo Abo. Blackshear has that one roll out.
Well, Smith and Agbo are both about 6'7", long, athletic guys. And they're matchups that Nevada can't really hang with. Nevada doesn't have those kind of lanky, athletic guys, and that's why those two have kind of had a field day so far tonight.
Williams and Davidson come off the floor for the Wolfpack as Foster and Baker check back in. Williams now with 3 personal fouls. And they're going to call an illegal screen maybe there by the Broncos.
That's exactly what it was, because Trey Coleman did a great job on that baseline out of bounds, fighting through 2 screens when Shaver looked like he was going to be open for a 3, and then got up in his body and forced a moving screen on Boise.
When it comes to the benches of these two teams, Nevada has had a significant advantage. They have gotten 12 points from their bench. The Broncos have not gotten a single point from their bench tonight. But their starters have been great.
That's another reason Nevada's got the lead right now, because when Blackshear went down early, Nevada needed some guys to step up, and the bench has done just that.
10 seconds to shoot here for Blackshear. Trying to work around a couple defenders, and he is fouled. And a good job there by Keenan. He didn't really have a whole lot of real estate to work with, and yet he still gets the foul against the freshman, Jace Whiting.
He tried to take advantage of the mismatch against Whiting there, and Whiting just got a little aggressive on him. He was playing good defense, but right there at the end started leaning into Keenan, and that's where he got the foul.
Blackshear, one of the best in the country when it comes to making free throws. See the numbers there. 63 coming into the game. That's tops in the Mountain West and in the top 10 collegiately. He makes both, and we're tied up 44 apiece. Well, you knew it was going to be a battle tonight. A couple of longtime rivals. Shaver to the basket. Looks like Coleman maybe got a piece of it. Here come the Wolfpack in transition. Lucas. Now it's Shaver, and his shot is rejected away. But a foul called against the Wolfpack on Keenan Blackshear.
Good job by Shaver there, just going into Blackshear's body and forcing the ref to have to make a call. Although it might not have been a good one.
That's a lot of ball. Good effort by Blackshear nonetheless. But it'll be Marcus Shaver Jr. shooting a pair. He's got 8 points in his first action since December 10th. And you can hear the boos here at Lawlor Event Center as they look at that one on the replay. So Blackshear heads to the bench with 3 fouls. Shaver, just a special career at Boise State, over 1,700 points. And he's got a dozen now tonight. 44, Broncos by 2. Mountain West Conference opener here tonight at Lawlor Event Center, the biggest crowd we have seen in Reno this season. Lucas trying to work around a double team, has a tough shot. Foster fighting for the rebound, can't get it in there. Kobe Young on the intercept. Now Shaver quickly to the other side, and Marcus Shaver to the bucket.
Such a quick move by Marcus Shaver getting to the basket there. Looks like he's starting to get his legs under him. He's getting a lot more aggressive going to the basket in the second half.
And a timeout taken on the floor by head coach Steve Alford. So the Wolfpack led by as many as 5. Now they trail by 4. It's the Broncos taking the edge here in the second half, led by senior Marcus Shaver Jr. Tonight's broadcast on Nevada Sports Net is brought to you by your Northern Nevada Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by ITS Logistics, moving the Wolfpack across the country since 2002. Beautiful scenes across Northern Nevada, Northern California. Final week of 2022. Happy holidays to all of you out there watching tonight as we welcome you back here inside Lawlor Event Center on the campus of the University of Nevada with Keith Fuchs. I'm Alex Margulies. The Wolfpack now down 4 as the Broncos have surged ahead, and Nevada having a hard time defending the inside against the likes of Marcus Shaver Jr. and Najee Smith.
Boise State's taking advantage of Nevada's defense, being a little off kilt. They've gotten into the basket. They're being really, really aggressive, especially with Smith and Ugbo. And I talked about Shaver going into the break. He's starting to attack the basket and find some openings, taking advantage of Nevada's tired legs here to start the second half.
16 for Smith, 14 for Ugbo, and 10 for Shaver. Broncos now shooting over 42% for the game. That was after They shot only 30% in the first half. They've connected on 9 of 14 shots, nearly 64% since halftime. Wolfpack need to get it going here under 12 minutes. Daniel Foster back into the game. First action in almost a month for Foster. And Baker able to convert at the goal.
Just a simple one-step drop step for Will Baker. That is when he's at his best.
Will Baker coming off of a 23-point performance last week where he was 9 for 9 from the field. A bucket and the foul. And it's Smith again for the Broncos.
And that's Marcus Shaver coming off the pick and roll and just waiting patiently for the open guy, finding him on the roll and making a play.
And that will take us to our now under 12 timeout here at Lawlor Event Center. Broncos by 4 will step aside once again. Back with more from Reno right after this. Welcome inside Lawlor Event Center. Keith Fuchs, Alex Margulies, 11:15 to play. Boise State Broncos lead by 4. They'll be at the line here. And Najee Smith has really taken this game over. Wolfpack really having a hard time defending the inside as the Broncos have now outscored the Wolfpack 24-8 in the paint.
Yep, Smith and Ogbo both have just had looks at the rim all night, and it's being set up by great plays by Marcus Shaver on that last one in the pick and roll. And I think Boise down the stretch here is pretty much just going to put the ball in Shaver's hand, maybe go pick and roll and just let him make plays.
Yeah, until Nevada can defend that, I don't see Boise State stopping. Smith, by the way, new collegiate high with 18 points. His previous was 17, which came back on November 26th of this year against Utah Valley. Here Lucas off the mark. Nevada had made 2 of their first 3 from the outside to start the half. And an offensive foul against Marcus Shaver.
Great job of moving the feet by Daniel Foster. Shaver didn't think that he pushed off there. But that's a big foul. That'll be his 3rd. So now him and Blackshear with 3 fouls.
Degenhart, Smith, and Shaver with 3. Williams and Blackshear have 3 for Nevada. Foster looking for Lucas. He was knocked down, though. Here's Tyler Powell back into the game. Had a great first half where he scored 5 points off the bench. Powell lining up for 3, and Tyler Powell has another.
Tyler Powell has been huge off the bench for tonight. 3 for 3 now from the field with 2 threes.
His season high 10 against Pepperdine. He has been a jolt off the bench for Nevada. And an answer on the other side. Cold-blooded triple from Abo.
He's had a couple of those tonight when Nevada makes a run and Ogbo just steps into a 3, knocks it down, and quiets the crowd.
Boise State by 4, under 10 here at Lawlor Event Center. Powell. And he was right on that one.
Crowd was ready to erupt if that one went down.
Broncos have 5 of 14 from the outside. Smith against Powell. And it looks like the Broncos traveled there, and the Wolfpack will take over possession. So Nevada's starting to clamp down on defense a bit.
I think Nevada got a little lucky there that Degenhart passed up an open 3. Shaver did another good job on the pick and roll, dragging the defender, and Degenhart probably made one more extra pass than he needed to. He was open.
Powell trying to find the open man, gets it to Foster. Into Williams. Davidson from the free throw line, and a calm, cool, and collected jumper from the freshman Nick Davidson.
Well, a calm, cool, collected jumper by Davidson, but a great slip on the screen by Darian Williams to get open in the lane, and then a great pass to Davidson.
Abo tries to answer from the free throw line. He's off the mark. Wolfpack basketball, a chance to tie. Blackshear can't finish. Kuzmanovic into the game, faking the three. Now a triple on the way. That one off the front iron. A miss that time from Whiting, the freshman from Idaho. And off the leg of Degenhart. And the Broncos will bring their starters back in. Rice along with Shaver. And Kobe Young will check in as well. Darian Williams to inbound. Blackshear on Shaver. Blackshear, turnaround jumper. How about that?
That's just Blackshear taking advantage of his size, getting to his spot, and a nice little turnaround over the smaller Shaver.
Tie ball game with 8 to play here tonight in Reno. And Smith the answer again. 20 for Smith, his first ever 20-point game. And Blackshear is going to the free throw line, draws the foul against Degenhart. And that will take us to a timeout. 7:33 to go. We have got a good one here tonight between a couple of rivals. The Wolfpack and the Broncos in the Mountain West Conference opener. More here on Nevada Sports Net right after this. Tonight's broadcast on Nevada Sports Net is brought to you by Huntley Motor World, a trailer for every need, and by your Northern Nevada Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. Back here at Lawlor Event Center, and let's return to the sidelines with Shannon Kelly.
The Wolfpack continues to give back to our community. Head coach Steve Alford's wife, Tanya, and their daughter, Kayla's Wolfpack Express is up and running. The COVID pandemic put it on pause for a little bit when they first moved to Northern Nevada. This is something they started in Los Angeles. It was once then the Bullen Express. So once a month, a few players go visit the renowned Children's Hospital with a cart of goodies for the kids, handing out crayons, coloring books, you name it, arts and crafts. And of course, signing posters, the kids' favorites. But in addition to their monthly visits, the entire team also took a visit to Renown a few weeks ago, donating teddy bears to the little kids to help make their holiday season a little bit brighter.
All right, thanks so much, Shannon. Really cool stuff there. I know that was something Nevada really wanted to do and couldn't during COVID. And a lot of the players have enjoyed it so much, they want to go back again and again. And it just shows the kind of commitment this team has to this Reno and Northern Nevada community. And you as a player, I'm sure, you know, to get an opportunity to do something like that, it's special.
I mean, it's awesome to go visit Children's Hospital over at Renown, and it's great that they're giving back to the community and being a part of the community. And speaking from my own recent experience, our baby was born 9 months ago, and we had to spend the first week of his life in Renown's Children's Hospital, and they do just amazing, amazing work. Incredible nurses, incredible staff, and so to see them being recognized by Nevada's players is awesome as well.
Darian Williams gets the steal, then he's tripped up underneath the basket, wanted a foul, didn't get it. Looked like his foot got caught on one of the Boise defenders. Now Rice on the inside, they'll pass it around. And they're going to whistle a foul against the Wolfpack on the ensuing offensive second chance.
Well, I think Keenan Blackshear got lucky there that they didn't call a foul on him, but he looked like he pulled back a little bit trying to get a block on that initial drive. But they ended up getting the foul there on the rebound on Rice.
So here's Max Rice, who has been quiet tonight, and Rice hits the first. Rice has been a huge scorer this year as a senior for the Broncos. As many as 25 points in a game. He did that against Texas A&M. He's averaging over 12, and those are his first 2.
Well, he's had a quiet night offensively, but he's been doing a great job on Jared Lucas all night. And that's probably where his focus has been. And it's taken away from his offense, but it's really, really helped Boise in this game.
Keenan Blackshear just off the mark. Broncos ahead by 3 with the ball into play. Broncos got all 3 in the matchup against the Wolfpack last year as Shaver with an impressive finish.
Shaver's starting to take this game over offensively. I talked about it a little bit earlier, but he's being really, really aggressive, going to the basket, trying to get his shots and find other guys open.
Wolfpack need to convert here, down by 5. Davidson got a good look at it. Now the Broncos will slow it down. Shaver, one of 3 players in double figures. He's got 12. It's Smith who leads the way with 20. Now in the low post, Abbo. Coleman penetrates. Powell for 3. Broncos fighting for the rebound. They can't keep it in. So 20 seconds to shoot for the Wolfpack now. And it looks like the Broncos want to take a timeout. So timeout, Boise State. They'll go together along with Nevada. And the Wolfpack trying to hang in this game, down by 5. They were down 7 in the first half, but they were able to really clamp down on defense, Keith, during that period. They limited the Broncos to only 30% in that first half. But it has been tough for Nevada defensively, which is an area where they've really excelled this year. It's been tough for them defensively against the 3-headed monster of Shaver, Abbo, and Smith.
It has, and it's to me, it's really been Marcus Shaver just making plays on the perimeter and being aggressive. And that's what Boise's gonna finish this game off. They're gonna put the ball in Shaver's hands, and he's gonna go pick and roll, or he's gonna go ISO and try to attack the hoop. And that's when Ogbo and Smith cutting to the basket becomes really dangerous. So Nevada has to be careful about, first of all, keeping Shaver in front of them, and then watching the back cuts when he does go to the basket.
Five and a half to play here at Lawlor Event Center. Mountain West Conference opener. Catch and shoot for Lucas. He comes up short. And it'll go to the Broncos.
Looks like Jared Lucas's legs are just a little shot there. He's been coming up short on a lot of jump shots, and I talked about Max Rice being all up in him tonight. All that effort from Rice is showing right now.
Here's Rice from the outside, over to Shaver, working against Coleman. Lucas will switch off, and they're going to call a blocking foul on Jared Lucas. Trying to draw the charge there. He drew a charge in the opening seconds of this one. Not this time, though, and Marcus Shaver back to the free throw line. Well, there's been a big problem for Nevada. The rebounds, Boise State +6. Our rebounding tracker presented by United Nissan. No markups over MSRP at UnitedNissanReno.com. 1-1 for Shaver. And it looks like a lane violation for the Wolfpack will give him another chance.
That could end up being a costly mistake because Shaver doesn't miss many free throws, and you're just giving him a free one now.
He's hit 41 in the season coming in. That was his first miss, and he will take advantage. And again, in a game that maybe comes down to 1, 2, 3 points, that's crucial.
That's huge, especially at a moment like this when Nevada's trying to get the momentum back.
The Wolfpack down by 7 now. 5 minutes to play. Trying to find some scoring. The Wolfpack have gone cold here in the last 5 minutes. And before the bucket, a foul on the Broncos as Baker was going in for the slam.
That was a great entry pass by Keenan Blackshear, and Baker, a little lucky they called the foul there because it looked like Ogbo or Smith, one of the two, got up there and blocked that dunk attempt. But refs called it a foul.
Broncos right now are +5 in free throw attempts. Wolfpack 11 of 15, Broncos 14 of 20. And Baker hits the first of 2. He's got 7 points now tonight. Baker is statistically the top free throw shooter in the Mountain West coming into this game. And he will convert. And for a big man, 7-footer, you don't see very many guys at 7 feet tall that can hit almost 90% of their free throws.
No, Baker's got great touch on his shot from the free throw line. Something you don't see a lot, like you said, from 7-footers.
So the Wolfpack back within 5. Over to Shaver. Shaver getting around a couple defenders. And Degenhardt has his shot rejected. Gets the second chance, though. And the second chance points have hurt Nevada here tonight. They've been able to keep Degenhardt relatively at bay, but that was a big bucket. Now it's back to Will Baker. Smooth.
Talked about his soft touch at the free throw line. That was a nice soft touch on the turnaround there. This is a big defensive possession for Nevada.
10 for Will Baker as we go under 4 minutes. Trying to trap on Shaver, and Nevada gets the steal.
That's the adjustment that Nevada needed to make. Get the ball out of Shaver's hand and then find the guys that are open inside and get a big turnover there.
Back to Baker, bucket plus the foul. And Nevada is right back in this game. Will Baker, the junior from Austin, Texas, makes it a 3-point game. He'll be at the free throw line when we come back. Should be a thrilling finish. The Wolfpack, the Broncos, in the Mountain West Conference opener. Wolfpack basketball on Nevada Sportsnet is brought to you by your Northern Will Baker catching fire for Nevada. Wolfpack back within 3, and for more on the Nevada big man, we send it back to Shannon Kelly.
Getting Mountain West Player of the Week, coming off the season high 24 points against Norfolk State. And growing up in Texas, Baker was a huge San Antonio Spurs fan. He looked up to 7-foot Hall of Famer David Robinson. He said he was always outside shooting at his parents' house for an hour and a half every day because he wanted to grow up and be just like him. He would go to Spurs games with his family, and now he's trying to idolize in Robinson's footsteps, one game at a time here with the Wolfpack.
All right, thank you so much, Shannon. Baker will be at the free throw line, a chance for a 3-point play, get Nevada back within 2. Look at his jump in shooting this year. Over 55% now for the season, and he has really come on strong. I mean, a guy that started his career at Texas. He was a huge high school recruit and really starting to come into his own here in his junior season.
Well, one of my keys for the game was to get him going early, and he didn't really get many looks inside and missed a couple shots, but now he's finally found a rhythm, and he's got a lot of confidence here late in spurring this Nevada run to get back in the game.
63-61. Nevada at 10-3 coming in. Same for the Broncos. The reigning champions of the Mountain West Conference. Abo, 5 to shoot, being guarded by Blackshear. Out to Shaver. Schaefer with 2, and Shaver. Oh my, what a bucket from Marcus Shaver at the buzzer.
Shaver.
That was a killer.
Such great awareness by Shaver to know the shot clock's going down and he's just got to get something up. That's just confidence, understanding of a fifth-year senior to get the ball, put it up, and then, I mean, he just feels no pressure. He wants to win this game, and he's knocking down that is easy for him.
Well, you look at the Broncos, they weren't sure if Marcus Shaver was going to play in this one. He's been banged up. And what a difference maker he is out there on the floor. He can just do everything on the offensive end.
He does everything for his team, and when you have a fifth-year point guard like that with all his experience, played in the NCAA tournament last year, there is no moment that's too big for him. So even when the crowd's going crazy here, it's a close game, first conference game, he's cool, calm, and collected, and he's been showing that late, leading the Broncos in the second half.
So it looks like they'll change that to a 2-point basket for Shaver. By the way, on the foul against Baker, Tyson Degenhardt is now fouled out of this game. So that is a huge deal for Nevada. Najee Smith has 4 fouls, so he's not on the floor either. We'll see if Nevada continues to try and work it inside. Instead, they go outside. It's Lucas! And Jared Lucas hits the 3.
Gigantic shot for Lucas. He's been trying to find his rhythm all night. Finally gets a little bit of space and knocks down a huge 3.
And here come the fans in Reno. 1-point game with under 3 to play. Nevada thought maybe they had a Boise State turnover, but they're going to say it touched maybe the fingernail of Trey Coleman.
I mean, from our angle, it didn't look like Coleman got any of it.
If
we
it
had
touched
about
him,
the same angle.
If it touched him, I'm serious. It was like scraping his fingernail.
Yeah, it wasn't much, and Coleman doesn't think he touched it, but I doubt he'd admit it if he did.
What a shot, though, from Jared Lucas, and I tell you, when the game is in the balance, Jared Lucas is not afraid to hit the 3.
Not at all. Even though he hasn't had his best shooting night, he's still got the confidence to knock down these big shots.
13 to shoot for the Broncos. 1-point game, out to Shaver. Shaver gets around Lucas. Lucas can't find him, and Shaver's got another. Back to a 3-point lead for the Broncos. Marcus Shaver Jr. He has got 18 points. Keenan Blackshear on the drive, and Blackshear gets the bucket plus the foul. What a game we've got tonight here at Lawlor Event Center.
These two teams are going to be 2 of the top teams in the conference because they have guys that can make these type of plays in big moments. Blackshear's not afraid of the moment. Lucas isn't afraid of the moment. Shaver isn't afraid of the moment. There's going to be a few more tough baskets here on both sides, and it's probably going to come down to who makes the final one.
The top 2 defensive teams in the Mountain West, at least in their non-conference resume. Broncos were number 1 coming in. The Wolfpack were number 2. Both allowing under 38% from the field. And you can see Blackshear coming into the night. He led the Mountain West and made free throws. Tonight he has gone 3 of 4. And he has tied this game.
And Blackshear also just fouled out Smith on that drive. So that's another huge missing guy for Boise State down the stretch.
Fans on their feet here at Lawlor Event Center. 2 minutes to go. We're tied up. Nine to shoot for the Broncos. Abo penetrates. Max Rice for 3. Can't get it. And Lucas has the board. And what is the call here,
Wow,
Keith?
this could be big. I think they called a hook on Blackshear on the rebound. Another tough call to make in this situation.
And it's back to Milner. I mentioned him earlier. He is the worst free throw shooter on the team. Maybe the biggest free throw of the season for Milner. And he can't get it. Oh, he gets it to go. Wow. How did that one stay in?
Oh, that was just some luck from the rim there. That was a brick waiting to happen, but he got a lucky bounce.
Milner makes only 1 of 2. Broncos by 1. What a start to the Mountain West Conference season here tonight in Reno. 2 longtime rivals, the Wolfpack and the Broncos. It was knocked out of bounds by Kuzmanovic. 14 seconds on the shot clock for the Wolfpack.
It's a good pass by Darren Williams, but you don't need to force that in this situation. If the guy's not wide open, let him go through, move the ball around, and look for something better.
Into Lucas, working against Rice. And an offensive foul. What a charge taken by Max Rice.
I don't know if Jared Lucas is strong enough to knock a guy down like that. Yeah, that's looked like more of a flop to me, but.
So some close calls here in the second half. Nevada gets the steal, though. Into Williams, and it was knocked away by the Broncos, and that was a big defensive play there by the Wolfpack to get it back. This is going to be a wild finish tonight here in Reno, I tell you what, Keith.
A real wild finish. And I know their jobs aren't easy, but it would be nice to see the refs kind of let the players play a little more here. Not blow the whistle as much as they have these last couple of possessions.
Here's the steal from Trakeman. And it looked like that might have been last touched by Darian Williams.
Yeah, it looks like his back of his hand hit
They are
it there
going
at
to the
the
monitor
end.
to look at that, so that is probably not going to be good for the Wolfpack. Boise State Broncos coming off of their championship season last year, trying to maintain that they're the team to beat in what is a very competitive Mountain West. And Nevada hoping to score a big home win, keep their home record unblemished here at Lawlor Event Center. And for a team that had a frustrating season last year, an opportunity to make a statement to Boise State and to the Mountain West that the Wolfpack are a contender this year.
This would be a huge statement win for Nevada to knock off the defending conference champs. And honestly, for Boise State, it'd be just as big a win because Nevada's going to be at the top of the conference. And if they can steal one at home here and get a leg up on Nevada, that's a huge extra lead to start the season.
Elsewhere in the Mountain West, New Mexico continues their undefeated start to the season. The Lobos are 13-0 after a 19-point win over Colorado State, 88-69. UNLV right now in overtime against San Jose State. The Spartans are leading by 2. 30 seconds to go in that one. San Diego State leads by 13 on top of Air Force. That one's at halftime. And Fresno State leads Wyoming by 13 at the breaks. The Bulldogs looking good tonight against the Cowboys, who have been kind of the disappointment of the Mountain West considering what they had coming back. I know they've had some serious injuries, but Wyoming, after an NCAA tournament season last year, has really struggled.
Well, Wyoming surprised a lot of people last year, and they're kind of going through what Nevada did last year. They're expected to be at the top of the Mountain West again, be one of the best teams, and gotten off to a slow start. A lot of that is because of injuries, but definitely not the season that Wyoming expected or wanted, but they can easily turn it around in conference play, and they're still going to be competitive.
Talking about the Mountain West Conference, Here's a look at how teams have fared to start the year. New Mexico unbeaten. You've got 3 teams in the top 40 of the net. UNLV has gotten off to a good start. These Broncos 10-3, Utah State 10-2. So the Mountain West putting themselves in position, Keith. You should see 3, maybe 4 teams getting back into the NCAA tournament if teams can not beat each other up too much, but there's some valuable wins to be had in this conference right now.
Exactly. They're going to beat each other up, but I think a lot of these teams have gotten some big wins in non-conference that when it comes time for March, the selection committee is going to look at those and look at the strength of this conference and kind of give them the benefit of the doubt.
So Nevada will get the call here. They keep the basketball, 26 to shoot, 110 to play. Trey Coleman looking to inbounds, and before he does, a foul is whistled against the Broncos.
Well, refs must not have heard me when I asked them to stop blowing the whistle late here in the game.
I mean, as a former player, you're never, I think, going to be in favor of the whistle being blown too often, right?
Well, absolutely not, but especially in a game like this where we're going back and forth. Shaver gets a basket, Lucas gets a basket, Shaver again. You know, let the players win the game. I think that's why they're on the court, right? Not for the refs to get a blown whistle and have free throws every possession.
Keenan Blackshear has had a lot of pressured free throws this season, and he will hit both. So Nevada's back in front. A 1-point lead for the Wolfpack. One-point game with a minute to go here at Lawlor Event Center, and nobody is sitting down. What a great start to the conference season. Max Rice, the senior, over to Shaver. He's only got 10 to shoot. Shaver down the lane, and he finishes at the rack, and Shaver does it again.
Great take and great finish by Shaver. And another one by Blackshear.
Keenan
Wow.
Blackshear gives Nevada back the lead. How about these 2 guards?
I said it earlier, it's going to come down to a final shot from one of these 2 here late in the game. Let's see what Shaver can do on this possession.
Which defense can get a stop? Nevada trailed by as many as 7. They lead by 1. Trying to knock off the reigning champions here in the first night of the Mountain West Conference season. 9 to shoot for the Broncos. Kuzmanovic against Davidson. 6 to shoot. 5 for Kuzmanovic, and he gets the bucket. Pavle Kuzmanovic, who had barely had a factor in this game, his first bucket of the night, and the Broncos have the lead with 13 to play.
Well, Trey Coleman did a fantastic job denying Marcus Shaver the ball, which is exactly what Nevada wanted. But Kuzmanovic, who, like you said, I don't think we've said his name all night. We would know if we did with that last name, but he comes up with a clutch basket there. And now Nevada's going to draw something up here for Blackshear or Lucas to try and get the final shot.
He's only played 9 minutes in this game tonight. The junior from the country of Serbia has had playing time with the Serbia under 18 and 19 teams, also part of a gold medal winning team at the FIBA under 18 Euro Championship. And in a pressured moment, needing to execute for his team, he has given the Broncos a 1-point advantage. And now it's decision time for the Wolfpack with 13.4 to go. How do they want to approach this?
Well, I think it all starts with Blackshear at the top, and I wouldn't be surprised if Alford draws something up for maybe Lucas coming off a down screen, but Keenan Blackshear's been getting to the basket at will. Boise has Deeganhart and Smith fouled out of the game, so if I'm Nevada, I'm getting something downhill for Keenan Blackshear going to the basket, have other guys spot up, look for an open shot, but Keenan going to the hoop is your best bet right now.
Do you try and score quickly, or do you draw down the clock and score last? That's also part of it. You don't want to leave Boise State time, or do you want to try and score And if you don't, then you got a little bit more time to get another possession.
You don't want to move too fast. The thing is, you're only down 1, right? So you can get a game winner, but you also want to attack with enough time to leave chance for an offensive rebound or a tip-in. So I would expect that Nevada would start attacking here around the 10-second, maybe 8-second mark, go to the basket and have everyone crashing, ready to get an offensive rebound if a layup falls out.
Well, regardless of the result tonight for both of these teams, this is the kind of juice that you expect to see in the Mountain West Conference, and this game tonight has not disappointed one bit.
This has had the feel of a late February, early March type conference game. Loud crowd, both teams competing at a very, very high level. Both of these teams are going to be playing for a lot come March.
The Broncos trying to continue their dominance against the Wolfpack. They won all 3 last year, and believe me, that is fresh in the minds of these Wolfpack players. They want to change that narrative here tonight in the opener to the Mountain West season, and a chance for a big victory. Both teams coming in at 10-3, looking to get to win number 11 and trying to bolster their opportunity at an NCAA tournament bid. So here we go, into Blackshear with 10 to play. Blackshear with 7. Blackshear to the rack. Blackshear gets the bucket. 3.8 to go. Broncos into Agbo. 3 to shoot. Down to 1. And a travel on Agbo. And this place is going crazy. Nevada gets this stop they've finally been looking for. Keenan Blackshear with the bucket to get to 20. Nevada up by 1 and only 0.4 of a second left.
Well, I thought they'd try to get Keenan Blackshear going downhill. I'm a little surprised that Boise had Kuzminoff on him. I know he just made a big basket, but that's a very, very tough assignment for him defensively. And Blackshear basically just bullied his way, went right through him and got to the rim.
And what a huge blow for the Broncos. No Degenhardt and no Smith here in the final couple of minutes, and that could prove to be the difference.
And that was huge on those last 2 drives that Blackshear had. I talked about it before. When those 2 guys are out, they have really no rim protection. They have Milner in there, but he's not necessarily a shot blocker, and so that clears the way for Blackshear to go to the basket. Now, Boise has to foul immediately.
And they've changed the clock to 1.2. They'll throw it into Lucas. He is fouled, and that will stop the clock at 0.6. So Jared Lucas, who has been not only one of the best free throw shooters in the Mountain West, but in the entire country, he will have a chance to give Nevada a 3-point edge. You can see just how good Nevada has been this year at the free throw line. Number 10 in free throw shooting percentage, and again, number 1 out of every team in college basketball in free throw attempts and makes, and the Wolfpack in this one tonight have connected on 17 of 21. Not sure what they're looking at here.
I'm guessing
maybe when the foul occurred.
I think they're going to try and probably add a 10th or 2 back to the clock here. And, I mean, no matter what they add, this game isn't over. As crazy as this game has gone, with 0.6 seconds, probably be 0.8 seconds, that's plenty of time for Boise to get the ball in and get a shot off from 3. Whether Lucas makes these free throws or not, Boise's going to have time to get a shot off. So Nevada can't be lazy after these free throws and have to watch out for that.
They're actually going to say there's 0.9
Plenty of time. Might even be able to take a dribble and get a shot off with .9.
All eyes right now, though, on Jared Lucas, the senior, the transfer from Oregon State, who hit a huge three down the stretch of this game, Keith, to get Nevada back in the game. He's made all 4 of his free throws tonight. And he makes his first. What's that feeling like?
For a guy like Jared Lucas who's playing in the Elite Eight, it's just another day at the line. For others, it's a lot more pressure.
Lucas with the miss.
I think Boise got a timeout there.
The clock expired. Fans started celebrating, but not so fast.
Well, I might have pulled the jinx on old Jared Lucas there. But I think Boise probably did get that timeout. So now this is the situation we were just talking about. They're going to have plenty of time here to at least get some kind of catch and shoot, but it's going to have to be thrown from the baseline, so it's not going to be easy.
Well, if you're the Wolfpack, rule number 1, do not foul.
Absolutely,
right,
rule number 1.
Outside that, you just have to try and defend this as best as you possibly can. And with .6, the odds are in your favor, but that still is enough time to get a catch and a shoot.
Exactly. You can't just not guard them because you're afraid of fouling, but you have to just be careful. It's probably going to be some kind of jump ball out here around half court. So I think Nevada's probably going to put some kind of press on, but you got to have a couple guys back as well to not let them throw something all the way down court.
Oh, and Steve Alfer was asking how many timeouts he has as well.
Yep.
And he's going to take a timeout.
I think that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to put a couple big defenders down in the key defensively, just in case Boise tries to throw something deep, have a big hand in there so they can't get a shot off.
I mean, realistically, there's not much Boise can do outside of a three-point shot with .6, is there?
I mean, realistically, if they got someone with a good arm who maybe played quarterback in high school, you can throw something at the rim and hope someone goes up, tips it from there, a little alley-oop, something like that. But most likely, it's going to be a 3.
All right, so we see how the Broncos are going to try for this. Abbo has been their best three-point shooter this year at 42%. He's big number 11. He's being guarded by Trey Coleman there in the middle. It'll be Max Rice on the inbound. Shaver is about near midcourt. Rice into Abbo. Abbo at the buzzer, and it is no good. Ball game over. And Nevada scores a huge opening night win over their Mountain West rival, Boise State.
A great game by these two teams. Like I've said a few times, they're going to be the top of the conference, and they're going to have another great game in Boise later on this season.
74-72 the final score as Nevada gets to 11-3 on the season. And a spirited effort for the Boise State Broncos as they will drop to 10-4 on the year. And I said this earlier, Keith, this is a fun league of college basketball, and if this game tonight is any indication of what we got in store for this year, buckle your seatbelts, folks, because this is going to be fun.
It's going to be very fun, and there's going to be a lot of games like this in this building and every other building across the conference. There's a lot of good teams, a lot of great crowds, a lot of good fans, and it's going to be another fun season of Mountain West basketball.
For Nevada, Keenan Blackshear, 20 points on 7 of 12 shooting. He also had 5 assists and 2 steals. We had 14 from Jared Lucas and 13 from Will Baker. And we've got our Shannon Kelly standing by waiting for Keenan Blackshear as he continues through the handshake line. And it looks like Shannon has got Keenan wrangled. I tell you, he has had some impressive performances this year. None maybe that tops this one here tonight. Shannon, let's go down to you.
No doubt, Alex. Keenan, this was a wild one. The first victory for your program against Boise State since March of 2021. How do you even put this win into words?
It started last year when I missed a shot. I needed that one back. I needed it back, but it's good to start off conference 1-0, and we're just gonna keep building from here.
I was going to ask you about that. In the Mountain West tournament last year, you come so close to hitting that three. You have the go-ahead layup here to win this one tonight. Has this game been on your mind for months now?
After the game, 10 days straight, I watched it like every hour. And my dad told me to save that clip, and that's gonna be good for you later on. And look at God right now, it's good.
What do you think the difference was in the second half, being able to get to the free throw line there, and it seemed like that really helped you guys to be more aggressive to help pull away there?
We just came out with a mindset of just like kill or be killed, really. And we really was just locking in on what coach was saying at halftime, and we just came out and executed. I'm hyped right now. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Keenan. Appreciate it.
All right, congratulations to Keenan Blackshear. Thank you so much there to Shannon Kelly. And Keith, you know what that's like as a player. I mean, you have a game like he did last year against Boise State, and oftentimes you get a chance. You get a chance to get some revenge, and maybe this was Keenan Blackshear's revenge game against the Broncos.
Well, it absolutely was, and like he said, I mean, I know the feeling of going back and watching a shot like that over and over and over and having it ingrained in your mind, and I bet you when he was in that huddle before he made that layup, he was thinking of that shot and waiting for his revenge, and he came up huge tonight for Nevada like he has all season.
All right, it was a great one here tonight in Reno. Marcus Shaver was as good as advertised. He had 20. Najee Smith with 20. It's Clayton Blackshear, though, that's the hero for the Wolfpack. I tell you what, circle your calendars. January 17th in Boise, a rematch of this one, and we will have that game right here on Nevada Sportsnet. That wraps up our coverage here tonight. Nevada basketball presented by your Northern Nevada Toyota dealers. For Keith Fuchs, Shannon Kelly, I'm Alex Margulies saying so long. The Wolfpack 1-0 to start Mountain West Conference play. Good night.